Alright, today we're going to be talking about setting up your brooder for your new baby chicks you've just ordered. So there's a lot of key aspects in setting this brooder up to be effective and make sure your baby chicks have the best chances. So here we've got a stock tank. We've got a lot of different options that we can provide on our website, cacklehatchery.com, for different brooder types and examples. So what we've done is we've taken the metal stock tank and we wanted to create a barrier kind of off the ground if you're using concrete or if you're using wood, something to where we can control the temperature almost completely. So we've taken a piece of foam board and we've essentially put it underneath the stock tank to kind of create another layer of insulation. So the next step is going to be talking about the pine shavings, so your bedding. You can get these here at Cackle Hatchery if you're coming to pick your birds up. You can also pick them up from your local farm store, Walmart, anywhere. You just want to make sure that you pick up the bigger, larger chips. The reason for that is because chicks do pick off the ground, and 20% of a chicken's diet typically is their litter. So we want to make sure that they don't eat the fine shavings because it's going to compact in their crop and then you're going to have issues. So once you get the bedding down, we're going to be looking at making sure you have a heat source. So we have the heat lamp. Biggest piece of the heat lamp is, we talk about a lot of things. It comes with a custom clip where you can clip it on the side of a tank. You can clip it on the side of a wall, shelf, something to where it stabilizes itself in that position to keep the heat radiated towards the birds. You also want to make sure that each of these lamps, they come with a guard. That guard is so important. What that does is if this falls on the shavings, it keeps it up far enough that it doesn't start a fire. But we need to make sure that we're attaching it to something that is strong, sturdy, and isn't going to fall. Once you get that all set up, which here we have it just hooked above, and we can adjust the height of the bulb from the bottom of the shavings. Why we do this is the higher up the bulb goes from the shavings, the lower the temperature. The closer we get to the ground, the warmer it gets. So if you look in here, what we're going to have is a thermometer. That thermometer is right below the heat lamp, so we can tell what the temperature is underneath the bulb. The reason for that is because your chicks, when they get to you via the post office or something, they want to get warmed up fast. And that's what's going to be the best case scenario. So as you look in this brooder, we have essentially the hot and the cool zone. So if your chicks are cold, they're going to go over to the hot side. If your chicks get warm, they can come out from under that light, and it helps with the difference in temperature for them to grow out of the heat lamp eventually. So when you get your chicks, or before you get your chicks, you need to make sure you're reading the care guide that comes with it. That care guide is found on our website, cacklehatchery.com, and it's also linked on the checkout. Or you can pick one up at the local store or at Cackle Hatchery. If not, we mail one to you with your order. Make sure that's read thoroughly because it gives you all the breakdowns of what you need to do in order for your chicks to have the best success. So as we talk about the brooder setup, we need to talk about different things such as waters, feeders, other implements you can put inside the tank and or brooder so it gives your chicks a little better success. First off, we're going to talk about waters and feeders. So depending on your order size, depends on the size of the water or feeder you're going to need. We've got these two smaller units here. So this is a feeder and a water. This is typically for your smaller bird orders, 3 to 4, 5, up to probably 10 birds. And you can put those in the cool zone. So what this does is your chicks have to come out of the warm zone and into the cool zone to eat and drink. We want to encourage that because that's going to break down the temperature barrier to be able to get them adjusted for the heat and temperament. If you're looking at a bigger order of 15, 25 birds or more, you're going to have a 1 gallon water and a trough feeder. Same concept. What we'll do is we'll put those over here in the cool zone, so that way they still have that barrier of temperature for adjustment. Now if you want to get fancy, you want to start teaching your birds to perch, roost, all that fun stuff that comes with the joy of raising chickens, you also have a roost boost. This can be mailed with your chicks, and it's super simple. It's all plastic, and it just goes in here and your chicks can roost on it and train for when they get out of the brooder. Alright, so we got our baby chicks in. Right here is our invoice that's customly strapped with these nice straps. It's keeping the box nice and tight. We're not having any issues with any chicks trying to get out or anything like that. They sound great. I can't wait to get them open. Easiest way, just cut these with a pair of scissors. Let's get those out of the way. So what I want to do first is I actually want to pull this off. The best piece of information in this is the care chick instructions that I talked about earlier. This essentially is going to walk you through how to take care of these birds, and if any issues come up or arise, it's going to help troubleshoot them. You can always call us. You can find these online. It's very descriptive and super helpful. So make sure you keep this handy when you're raising your chicks until you get them out of the brooder phase. So this is the very first opening of the box. We've got tons of live, beautiful baby chicks. They're nice and padded. Good little nest in here. It looks like they've fed and gelled the order. Everything looks nice and happy and healthy. So you just want to take them and just put them in their new home. And the best way to do this is 1 to 2 at a time. And you want to gently pick them up and take their beaks, and you want to dip them in the water. So what this is doing is teaching them where the water is right off the bat. They've already did the color variations. Chickens have a color spectrum they can see, and red is one of the top ones. So the base is going to attract the chicks, but we really need to tell them, hey, this is water. So we're going to dip each of these chicks in the water, and then we're going to just gently put them throughout the brooder. So they're going to find out where the warm spaces are, where the cool spaces are, and everything will just go great. All right, that's it. Now you're all set up for success.